Let me guess, you're trying to raise money for your startup and you need to figure out a way to convince investors to fund it. Well, the problem is that 95% of companies never raise a single dollar of outside funding. And even some of the greatest startups in history, like Airbnb, were ignored by 90% of the investors they pitched. But there's a simple solution to that problem, and it is a good pitch deck. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a killer pitch deck that you can use to convert investors and get them on board to fund your company. First, we'll go over what a pitch deck is exactly and why you need one. And then we'll look at the 11 main slides you absolutely need to have in your deck in order, plus a bonus one. So what is a pitch deck? It's a short, maybe 10 to 15 slide presentation designed to explain your idea to potential investors. Investors review hundreds, maybe thousands of ideas, and they don't have a bunch of time to read tons of details. Instead, they glance at pitch decks. Your idea needs to hook them fast. You need a pitch deck to quickly convince investors that they should fund you and your business. You'll get them to convert if you keep your presentation short, clear, and visual. You can think of it like telling a story: problem, solution, why now, and why you. Your goal is to tell a story that gets investors curious enough to say, let's meet. So let's move into what each of the slides are that you'll need to make your awesome pitch deck. First, you'll need a cover slide, which is simple enough, but this is your first impression. You'll need your company name, your logo, your tagline, and maybe your contact info. This slide will set the tone for your entire presentation and any impressions that the investors have of your company. So make sure it's sleek and minimal because you don't want it to look like a school project. Investors will absolutely judge you in the first 5 seconds, even if they don't mean to. Next, you'll move into the problem. What's broken in the world and what pain point are you solving? People are much quicker to buy painkillers than vitamins. So if the investor doesn't believe the problem is real or important, they won't care about your solution. The funny thing is here, they don't have to fully understand the problem. They just need to be convinced that it is something people need to solve and are willing to pay for. But with that, you want to use 1 to 3 clear, relatable statements and stay far away from jargon. Make it clear like you're explaining it to your 5th grade neighbor. Here's an example that might help. You wouldn't want a slide to say something like, the digital logistics infrastructure ecosystem is outdated. That's super unclear to anyone who isn't in that niche market. Instead, you'd say something like, small businesses lose hours every week juggling delivery schedules with no real tools. Now the problem is clear. It's small businesses losing time. This will lead you directly to the solution slide. What is your product or service and how does it fix that problem? This will be the aha moment for the investor, how you're solving that need that you just made plain in the prior slide. Here you want to focus on benefits, not features. And this can really trip people up because you're so excited about what you created, right? But your investors need simple real world language that shows why this solution is the one. Instead of saying, our platform offers dynamic optimization, say, we help delivery teams cut planning time by 40% automatically. So now that we've told the investors what the solution is, we want to show them. So here's where we move into a product demonstration slide. This at a minimum should include a screenshot of the product in action, but ideally you'll capture a video, or if you're sharing live, you'll do a short demo of how the product works. The investors want to make sure that they see the product, that it's a real thing, not something that they're imagining in their heads. Your best bet is to use a short promo video under 30 seconds or embed some kind of visual walkthrough to make it clear. In this demo, make sure that it gets to that aha moment fast. What's that one feature that makes people say, oh, I get it now? Highlight that. So now that you've been able to keep investors' attention for this long, you need to tell them how the heck this thing will actually make them money. So in this slide, you're going to introduce the opportunity and hint at the ROI. Investors invest to make money. While they might get excited about your product, what really gets them excited is their return. Make sure to connect your vision to dollars. Investors aren't looking to fund your product, your idea, your vision, or your company values. They fund potential to grow big and grow fast. So you need to be clear in telling them, here's why this is a big deal. Next, we move on to the market size. We need to ground our numbers in the size of the opportunity. This slide will show them more about the market, focusing on the total, the serviceable, and the target markets for your idea. A great idea with a teeny tiny market isn't going to excite investors. They are looking for big returns, so you'll want to use big, broad stats as well as your specific bottom-up sales projections. Even if you're just working in your local market, show how your model could scale across North America. Investors love to think big. We've covered the problem, the solution, the potential return. Now we need to get into the nitty-gritty of how your business actually makes money. So this is the business model slide, and it shows the engine behind the business. As with all the previous slides, keep it simple here. What do your customers pay for? Is it a one-time purchase, or is there a recurring revenue model? For example, your business model could be a subscription that charges restaurants $99 a month for access. At 1,000 customers, that's $1.2 million a year. So now that we know all about you and your business, who is out there that you're competing with? Our next slide covers competition and your competitive advantage. This slide will show that you've done your homework. You're not being ignorant of any other competition, but instead you've studied and you know what sets you apart. Share your secret sauce. Is it intellectual property, tech process, or the brand? You want to show where you win and what gives you an edge. Investors want to know that they're investing in something special, not a cookie cutter company with no way to differentiate itself in the market. So use this slide to show them why you are different. We've shared quite a lot of information with our investors so far, which is awesome that we've retained their attention. But now they need to know how you go to market, aka how will you get customers? Because even the greatest products don't sell themselves. You need to have a concrete plan here. Is it ads? Is it SEO? Is it cold outreach? Collaborations with influencers? What is going to move the needle? Even if you're just testing things out at this point, share your roadmap. Are you doing Facebook ads, partnering with local gyms, cold emailing landlords? Whatever it is that you're doing, make sure to share it. It's time to share the team. Who is behind the scenes building this thing? Investors have to bet on people first, so this is how you truly differentiate from other companies or other options they could pursue. Show them your core team and highlight their skill sets and accomplishments. You don't want to list everyone, like that unpaid cousin helping with marketing, just your committed co-founders and your key hires. Now we need to share where you are in the process. This is your traction and milestones slide. What have you done so far before you started asking for funding? This proves you can execute. It is social proof in chart form. Highlight anything here that makes it real, whether that's monthly revenue, user growth, testimonials, waitlist numbers, pilot programs. This is your bragging slide. So if you've got the numbers, go big and bold and lead with them. And if not, show your momentum. What partnerships have you made? What wait lists? What launches are you doing? Whatever you've already delivered. And then last, we have our fundraising slide, which you should include if you are ready to make your ask. If you know how much you need and what you need it for, make it clear what the funds will help you do. Is it hire more developers, invest in marketing, build out a new prototype? If you're sending this deck directly to a VC, make the ask. Just make sure it's super clear what it is and what it will be for. So now you know how to make your pitch deck, but do you know how to present it? Because when investors are looking to fund a company, they want to see a confident, well-spoken founder and team. So it's worth spending some time to get good at this skill, which is why in the next video, I go over 5 techniques that you can use in your presentations to catch and hold people's attention, command respect in any room, and persuade your viewers, no matter if you're pitching to investors, presenting in front of your team, or any other situation. So head over there if you want to get better at presenting, and good luck.